guys, welcome back to another book review. Today, if you can't see from the makeup, I enjoyed playing around last time, so I was like, let me try it this time as well. I am trying to match with the beautiful cover of Alphabet Squadron. This is my favorite cover so far out of all the, Star Wars books. My favorite. I have no idea who this is. This is a new character to me. So we see here, she is the main character. I'm assuming that's her ship. She looked delicate but powerful. And I don't know what it is about hair slicked back like that, but I love seeing when women like just slick their hair back. I think makes you look like a boss. But she's also, I don't know, she looks scared and kind of like in the shadows, but she also has, her weapon here and her helmet. She looks like a interesting, powerful female character, and I'm always down to like learn more about those. So a lot of oranges, a bit of purple. I don't know, I just thought it was a bright cover and it popped. So another reason I really wanted to get my hands on this is because it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. So it came with these 3 beautiful bookmarks. And so it has Yirka, Harrison Dula, and then the TIE Fighter. And then on the back, we have like a mini description of each one, and then you have like their name, their call sign, and then their aircraft, like what type of ship they fly. So this is so cool. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rip these out and use them, and then I was like, no, they're too pretty, like I need to leave them in there. I was also intrigued because it said a Marvel and Del Rey crossover event, so I was like, what does that mean? And mind you, like last week I barely covered like my first Star Wars comic book. So, after that, like I understood, okay, Marvel has some comic books printed or whatever. So after reading the book and after seeing some pages that they included in there, I understood the connection between this and then a comic book that's already been in circulation. We have really cool pages included from the TIE Fighter comic book, and that is the Marvel comic book that crosses over with this story. So you see the TIE Fighter. I think she looks really cool because she's like really cute, but like apparently vicious enough to be a TIE Fighter. So they have the cover here. I'll try to insert a bigger image of it. The reason this was one of those books where I was gonna have to sit down and really go through it is because it is a book that I did struggle to get through. In the Star Wars universe, I tend to gravitate towards certain things, and this is a story that focuses more on like pilots and like the rebellion and military aspect of things, and that's not something that really, not that it doesn't interest me, but of course it doesn't get my attention like the lore of the Jedi and just all these legends and things that go into the Star Wars universe. Luckily, there was a character that was in Star Wars Rebels, and I was like, okay, this hopefully gets me more into the story. And while she doesn't appear a lot, it was really like nice and nostalgic to have this character in the story and to also have her play a role in the main character's journey. She also kind of gets thrown into like a role of leadership, so it was nice to see Harrison Dula kind of interact with her in small moments and give her very sound advice. This is Yirka Quill. She formed part of the Empire and their army, but y'all know how the story goes. Emperor Palpatine is killed, and it was a different perspective to see it, not only from her, but also like just the direct aftermath of that event, and how, you know, now the Empire is like just running like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, what do we do now that our leader is gone? Not only that, now the rebellion is trying to figure out how to live in this victory, like this moment that they've been fighting for so long. Like, it kind of mentions it multiple times that they go from trying to keep up and just win all the tiny battles and just feel like they're staying afloat, to now going into this new era of like trying to keep this momentum and have it be like, you know, where the tides turn and the Empire is, you know, eradicated. Like, and it's just so much new feelings and new emotions and like uncharted territory for both sides. So it's kind of cool to see that perspective, and it's just interesting to see obviously her perspective as someone who she joined the Empire only wanting to get training. Like, she didn't join because she necessarily believed in their cause. She joined them and then eventually wanted to go and fight like with the rebels. But something about it, and something about the leadership and the structure, and just how she worked with her other, you know, fellow pilots, made her stay. And so she eventually started to believe in what the Empire was fighting for. But after that, like, and after seeing a lot of unnecessary killing, basically, you know, something about her and her conscience never sat well with her. It kind of sucks because you feel for her, but you also don't. And she's also just like a very weird, awkward, antisocial character. Very, very serious. And there was just like a few moments, like literally like one or two moments throughout the book, where she does something that like surprises me, and like it made me chuckle. Like, it made me laugh because it's so out of the ordinary for her. Okay, let's try to read this again. Man. On the verge of victory in a brutal war, 5 new Republic pilots transform from hunted to hunters in this epic Star Wars adventure. The Emperor is dead. His final weapon has been destroyed. The Imperial army is in disarray. In the aftermath, Quill is just one of thousands of defectors from her former cause living in a deserter's shantytown. Uncertain about her place in the Republic she once fought against, she has begun to lose any hope for redemption until she is selected to join Alphabet Squadron. Cobbled together from an eclectic assortment of pilots and starfighters, the 5 members of Alphabet are tasked by new Republic General Era Syndulla herself. Like Yirka, each is a talented pilot with a past full of violence and loss. Their mission: to track down and destroy the mysterious Shadow Wing, a lethal force of TIE fighters exacting bloody, merciless vengeance in the twilight of their reign. The newly formed unit embodies the heart and soul of the rebellion, ragtag, resourceful, scrappy, and emboldened by their most audacious victory in decades. But going from underdog rebels to celebrated heroes isn't as easy as it seems, and their inner demons threaten them as much as their enemies among the stars. The wayward warriors of Alphabet Squadron will have to learn to fly together to protect the new era of peace they've fought so hard to achieve. Oh my gosh. Wow, so this is way after Star Wars Rebels, the animated series. I wonder. Okay, I'm thinking about other characters and maybe like what happened to them. I will say, I feel like I did try to rush through the book just because it is like a topic that I don't tend to gravitate towards. So maybe if I would have taken my time a bit more, I would have enjoyed it, but more. But I for sure, there were so many moments that I'm glad I got to read about. And I'm also really happy that I got introduced to the new characters. If you like Star Wars Rebels, you'll enjoy this for the character that you see there from that show. If you're into like, I guess, the pilot and aircraft and aviation aspect of Star Wars, then you'll really like this. If you've seen, there's also another animated show called Star Wars Resistance, and that's very like pilot focused and centered, but it's way later on. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with this book, but I feel like the stories that you hear there kind of, you know, can kind of share similarities with the book. If you're into like anything involving like the military on either the Rebel or the Empire side, and TIE fighters, yeah, you will definitely, I think you'll definitely enjoy this. So this is a series. I believe it's only a 3-part series. I'm not sure if they're gonna add books to it. I accidentally got a 3rd book thinking it was the 2nd book, so eventually I'll have to get the 2nd book. I think the cover is so beautiful, and yeah, if you read it, let me know what you think. If you enjoyed it, if this is kind of like the part of Star Wars that's like your thing. It's not mine, but that's the thing, like, even if it's not Jedi focused or centered, all the stories end up sprinkling in some value to like the whole thing, the whole Star Wars universe. So I'm really glad I picked it up, and even just to stare at it now. It is a book that I want to reread just because of how challenging it was for me to read. But I want to get through like the whole series, like the whole story of Alphabet Squadron, and then, you know, we'll go from there. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and remember that you are loved, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye. Y'all, the freaking heater turned on. Now I gotta wait for it to turn off. Too loud.